Have you ever noticed that some people really dislike taking pictures of themselves? Maybe that's you, and if it is, this is something you should hear. What might feel like a little quirk, avoiding selfies, stepping out of group shots, can actually reveal a lot about how your mind works. Let's start with the most common reason: body image worries. For a lot of people, the camera feels like a judge. Everywhere you look, there's a highlight reel of perfect faces. Social media feeds, filtered videos, magazines, they create a standard that's completely unrealistic. When you see your own face in a photo, it almost never matches that ideal. Psychologists call this social comparison. You're not comparing yourself to reality, you're comparing yourself to a fantasy. Over time, avoiding photos becomes a kind of self-preservation. No picture, no proof of the gap between the person you see in your mind and the one the camera captures. But not everyone who hates photos is worried about how they look. Some people simply dislike attention. Every time someone raises a camera or phone, you become the center of focus. Everyone's watching, waiting for that perfect smile. For introverts or people with social anxiety, that can feel intense, like standing under a spotlight you didn't ask for. It's not vanity, it's vulnerability. In a culture that celebrates extroversion, being naturally reserved can feel like swimming upstream. When the camera comes out, it triggers stress. Not because they hate their face, but because they don't like being the center of attention. Some people avoid photos because they feel disconnected from themselves. This might sound strange, but there's a psychological phenomenon called depersonalization, where you feel detached from your own life, almost like you're watching it from the outside. For people experiencing this, seeing a picture of themselves can be unsettling. They don't recognize the person in the image. That stranger in the frame isn't them, and the discomfort is enough to make them avoid photos entirely. This is more common than you think, especially among people who have dealt with trauma, anxiety, or depression. Another reason is control, or rather, the lack of it. Photos freeze a moment in time, and once it's captured, you can't change it. In real life, you can adjust your posture, shift your expression, or move until you feel right. In a picture, you're stuck. One angle, one expression, captured forever. And in a society where pictures get shared online, tagged without consent, or stored in albums for years, that loss of control can create real discomfort. It's not about self-hate, it's about not wanting someone else to define how you're remembered. Here's the fascinating part. People who avoid photos often have a rich inner life. They value living experiences over documenting them. While everyone else is focused on staging the perfect shot, they're actually present, fully experiencing the moment. Studies show that people who constantly photograph events tend to remember them less vividly. Their brains outsource the memory to the camera. But those who stay in the moment, who don't feel the need to capture everything, encode their experiences more deeply. Hating photos can be a sign that you value authenticity over performance. You want to live, not just be seen looking perfect. That doesn't mean avoiding photos is always healthy. If it's rooted in shame, fear, or low self-esteem, it's worth exploring. But if it's a conscious choice, it can be a quiet form of confidence. People who don't need to post every moment or seek validation from likes and comments often have a strong sense of self. They know their worth isn't measured in pixels. So ask yourself, why do you avoid the camera? Is it fear of judgment, a desire to hide, or is it because you've realized something powerful, that your life and experiences are enough, without needing a permanent digital stamp? Understanding the why can completely change how you see yourself. Here's the beautiful thing. Choosing presence over documentation doesn't make you invisible. It makes you thoughtful, intentional, and grounded. You're not hiding, you're curating your own life internally. Every moment is fully yours, not just a moment for the feed. That's rare in a world obsessed with screenshots and snapshots. If you feel uneasy in front of the camera, you're not alone. And it's not a flaw. It's a sign that you value real life more than the image of life. You prioritize your experience, your emotions, your authentic moments. You're not performing. You're living. If this resonated with you, drop a camera emoji in the comments. And if you want to explore more about how your mind works and why you do what you do, subscribe right now. We're just getting started with understanding the psychology behind the habits and preferences that make you uniquely you. For even deeper insights, your life doesn't need a highlight reel. It's already meaningful and it's yours.